Well, hello everybody again, and welcome to another review for The Last of Us. This time we're going to be doing episode 4, and, it's a pretty good one. Not as good as the others, but, definitely had its moments, and I can't wait to get into them. And, yeah. But if you do like, please leave one and subscribe. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into episode 4 of The Last of Us. Now we start out initially with Joel and Ellie siphoning fuel just for their trip on the road ahead. And going into this episode, I don't really watch the previews for the next episode at the end of the previous episode because I just want to go in as blind as possible. I may have a good idea about where we're going, but I just like to go in as blind as possible. And a lot of people are saying a classic scene from the game was going to happen in here, and that one is, oh, can you please help? Can you please help? And Joel and Ellie, fall upon that guy, but he doesn't really need help because they are going to ambush him. And that's exactly what happened. And it was it seemed exactly out of the game. I really liked the camera work to make it seem like it was very reminiscent of the game. But to go back to the start of the episode, what do we start with? It's not just Joel and Ellie siphoning fuel and laughing at a bunch of stupid jokes. No. It's Ellie practicing her shot. Not literally, but practicing her aiming, with her gun that she picked up in the last episode. And I'm like, okay, this is where the arguments and stuff is going to build with Joel and Ellie. And I really like that between each characters or each set of characters to have problems they overcome along the way and so on. And, so Ellie's practicing her shot, then she goes out to check on Joel, and then he's siphoning fuel, and then they go on a ride. I'm like, okay, is this going to go exactly how it went down in the game, or is there going to be, bits and changes? And there was, sort of a change. I think, I haven't played the game in a long time, but they come across this roadblock, and then Joel stares through the hole, and it's like, okay, well, we can't make it through there, but we can go up the ramp and through this place. I'm like, okay, this is where it's going to happen. And then it did. And then they crash through. They run into the guy. They get a fucking vending, I think it's like a air conditioner dropped on their windshield. Then they crashed into the building. And then Joel is like, Ellie, just go in there. Just go in the room. Don't come out. I'll tell you when to come out. And Joel's just doing Joel. And Ellie is in the other room, and we think it's okay and stuff, but no. Someone gets on top of Joel and is choking him out, and I actually enjoy this. So instead of prolonging the scene of where Ellie saves Joel, they did it in a combo thing within the car wreck scene, because I think in the game she just does nothing and you take care of everything as Joel. But in here I really like the combination of things, and Joel's getting choked out. He got the gun pressed up against him, and he's about to die, and Joel's just he's trying to grasp, but Ellie just hears it and sees through the hole in the wall, and then she grabs her gun and shoots him in the back. Now, she didn't kill him all the way, because I think in the game she kills him, but Joel's, just moment of silence. Joel's trying to catch his breath and so on, and then Joel just stares at Ellie and back at him, and the guy's just trying to get out of it. He's like, oh, please, we can trade. My mom's down the road a little bit, blah, 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 blah. But Joel ain't gonna handle that. No. So what he does is, I was expecting the interaction between Joel and Ellie to happen after. It's like a where, or like a bit. I was expecting Joel to ask, "Is like, where'd you get that gun? I told you not to take the gun." but nothing. So I'm like, okay, maybe after he kills the guy. And we didn't really need to see Joel kill the guy because we know what happens if you play the game, and you can get an idea even without playing the game. But Joel tells Ellie to go back in the room, and she does, and then she lets Joel in. She removes the desk out of the way. And I'm like, okay, right here, we're gonna have that conversation between Joel and Ellie about Ellie going against Joel's word. But we didn't. We didn't. And yeah, that was kind of a bummer. That was the first bummer of the series, in my opinion. Because I really like it. I wanted some tension between Joel and Ellie. I wanted to be like, oh, no. You don't go against my word. You follow everything I say. And you don't just do what you want. But they didn't do that. And, I kind of wish they did. Because maybe that could have led into the next episode. Let's say, at the end, Ellie is just so annoyed with Joel that she runs away. And then for like an episode, she's gone. And it's just Joel on his own. And then in the sixth episode, he finds her at David's camp. And that would have been nice. That would have been a nice, like, leading into things. And then, also in the next episode, you could have showed Ellie surviving on her own. But, no repercussion for Ellie going against Joel's word. And that's the first nick I'm going to give to the show. Not, like, to stop watching, not, like, nick to, like, oh, man, if they mess up 2 more times, I'm never going to watch again. Like, that's a small thing. But, I would have really enjoyed it if there was repercussion. Because I really like the relationship between Joel and Ellie. But then, anyway, getting back to the main topic, after that, Joel and Ellie just continue onward and so on and so forth, and then they get in a building, because they don't want to be sighted by whoever this new group is. I think, because they said it's not Fedra and it's not Fireflies, so I think they're introducing the wolves pretty early. I have no idea. That's just the thought I got, since they don't have any name or aren't related to any fireflies. And so I'm like, oh, that's going to be interesting if it is the wolves or hunters or whoever. But that's going to be really interesting if they do introduce the wolves this early on, and that'd be a nice, tie-in for season 2, because yes, the show did get greenlit for season 2, but no gunfights after that, after the whole car crash into the store and Joel taking out everybody, and I kind of wish there was a bit more, but the later half of the episode focused on building the relationship between Joel and Ellie. But man, I really, going back to that first notch I said, or Nick, I would have enjoyed like the whole tension to not like have like a bunch of jokes and so on. I would have just liked it to be quiet and Ellie kind of being mad at Joel and so on and so forth. And, but, it didn't, and there's nothing changing it. But, they're building the relationship, and, it's just a bunch of stupid jokes and so on, and, they end the night with a very classic joke, and that's diarrhea is hereditary. And then Joel stares over. Like, what? Why? It runs in your genes. And then they just both laugh. They just both laugh and laugh the night away. But then Ellie's calling Joel. It's like, Joel, wake up. And what does Joel wake up to? Oh, and this is why I'm going to mention it, 2 black people pointing guns at their face. And that's very significant, because if he played the game, sorry for the cut, ladies and gentlemen, but that is very significant, because if he played the game, that is Henry and Sam, which is looking like what we're going to explore in the next episode. I wonder how long their story will last, because we all know it doesn't last that long in the game. And yeah, but I'm really interested to see how they portray that. But really like the episode, but like I said, not as good as any of the others, because the others, just talking with the ones with Joel and Ellie, didn't have repercussions to things. This one didn't. And, in the first one, it seemed like Joel was, like, very protective of Ellie. It's like, no, you listen to me, don't do anything, yada yada. And then this one, he just forgets about that once Ellie uses her gun. And, man, I kind of still annoyed about that, because, like, dude, you could have had something right there. But no, they didn't. They did have a they did have interesting things with the whole non like no what the fuck is the word? No name group, that's interesting. And they seem to be pretty brutal, because I think the leader just straight up shot their doctor, even though they were waiting till the leader was looking for where Henry was, and Henry is the ones who met Joel and Ellie and stuff, from my assumption. I mean, that could be the only thing. And yeah, I really found that intriguing. So I'm like, I wonder if this is Fireflies or some other group or new group. I mean, who knows? But I mean, I really enjoyed the episode. Just wish there was a bit more repercussions for what Ellie did, because Ellie went against Joel's word. But this week, I think I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 instead of a 3.5 out of 5. I don't really go. I mean, like, the only reason I would go to like 2.5 or 2 is if, like, there was, like, no continuation of the story at all. And this one seemed to continue the story in its own way, but again, I just wish there was repercussions for what Ellie did. But since there wasn't, that's why it gets a 3 out of 5. And before people leave comments like, oh, last week's episode didn't continue the story, it did, but in 2 different scenes, a beginning and ending scene. And also, it gave backstory to Bill and Frank, and those are people who we didn't really get to see in the game. So I am A-okay in that if it gives people we didn't see in the game backstory, and then it also helps continue the story of the show, because Joel and Ellie start out looking for supplies and so on, and then they lead themselves to Bill and Frank's, and then Bill and Frank have been there for so long, and then Joel and Ellie can move on from there. And I mainly like episode 3 is one of my favorites, just because of the relationship and story it told between Bill and Frank, and I really like that. But yeah, this one gets a 3 just due to the whole no repercussion thing. But with that said, and before I just repeat myself again, what did you think of episode 4? I liked it, like I said. But what do you think of it? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. Please leave them below. And with that said, have a good one, and see you next Sunday for another episode of The Last of Us.